Hey folks, it's Finn. It is the first Sunday of the month, which means it is time for the monthly Q&A shout out. This month I'm going to be talking about transition and exercise. I had a question from Badass Fry over on Instagram who asks, Hey Finn, I was wondering if you could make a video about exercises you can do at home to widen your shoulders, to make your hips smaller, chest exercises, etc. like what you do. Trans guys might be interested in it. Good point. It's a great question, and actually I've been asked similar things by a few people at different times. Let me start by saying I am the wrong person to ask about this. I really am. During my transition, I have picked up bits and bobs along the way. I'm not a gym bunny. I'm just not that way inclined at all. However, what I have got is personal experience about what I've used in terms of a layperson's view. If you want somebody who is really into their bodybuilding and knows their stuff, there are far more qualified people here on YouTube. In fact, I will link somebody in the shout out part of this vlog. But if you want a layperson's view, I can definitely speak to that. I recognise how important this is because pre-T, I was just the dysphoria of being in the body that was just like so undefined, and how I thought just looked so female. I mean, looking back, I probably just looked like a 15-year-old boy, just quite skinny and, you know, not built or anything.
I'm going to do something that makes me quite nervous. I'm half naked, I've got my boxer shorts on and a binder, but I want to show you what my body looks now. This is for me as well, so I can track my progress. This is me. Okay, cool. So, top half. I'm going to stand up here. So, here we go. I move back.
But I desperately wanted to do something about it, and so I was very lucky in that I had a personal trainer friend, and she took me through various exercises to mainly work on my shoulders and my upper body. If you're doing a lot of presses and a lot of flies and things like that, it really works the top of these muscles, which then gives the illusion of, well, you are bigger, but because you're so much bigger here, it also gives the illusion of smaller hips, because the bigger your shoulders are, of course, the more V'd you look, so hence giving that slight illusion of a more masculine shape when you're pre-T. What my personal trainer friend also told me was that if you work your leg muscles, it raises your natural testosterone level. So guess who was doing lots of squats? Oh yeah. There's no amount of squats in the world that's going to grow you a beard, but hey, it goes a little way. It made me feel better anyway. So if you have got a friend who knows their stuff in the gym, or you can afford to have some sessions, and you feel able to speak to somebody, I'd really recommend it, because they can really then help you to develop those areas of the body that you want to draw attention to. But if, like me, early days, you were a bit nervous around the gym, then I highly recommend this. This book has been my absolute guru itself, because it lists all different sorts of exercises, and it is really clear as to what exercises work specific areas. I used that in early days, so I would go to the gym on occasion with my personal trainer friend, and then at home I created a routine that would work all of these top muscles, so I really recommend that book. Another bonus of using the gym is because you really want to work these chest muscles. If you're having top surgery, it's a really good idea to have some muscle definition there so that the surgeon has got a line to work with. That's what I've always been told, and that's what I did. In order to, so I had, you know, I didn't have huge chest muscles, but there was enough of a line there. And also it's really beneficial anyway to work your chest muscles and your stomach muscles before top surgery, because oh boy, when you can't use your arms, you suddenly realise how much you use your stomach muscles, and if you've actually prepared them beforehand and you're a bit stronger, your recovery will be so much easier. Personally, I think the biggest benefit of doing some exercise pre-T was in terms of my mental health, because I felt so powerless waiting for my appointment and waiting for tea and all of that. You're just stuck in this awful limbo land where nothing's changing. You've came out as male, you've changed your name, and yet you still look exactly the same, and it's really hard. So going to the gym and using weights at home did two things for me. Exercise raises your natural endorphins, which are your feel-good hormones. So when you do some exercise, you feel better. So that was really beneficial in helping me out of the funk that I was in. The other thing it does is it gives you back an element of control over your body, because my real low points in early days before hormones were this complete feeling of powerlessness, that I was putting all the action in I could. I'd changed my name and told everybody and was just making changes to my life as and when I could. But what I really wanted to see physical changes, and of course I couldn't. I couldn't rush anything. I couldn't force them to give me testosterone, but I could take power back over my body and change it as much as I could. So by getting fitter, by getting healthier, by developing some muscles here and some more chest muscles, it gave me a feeling of power back over my own destiny, and that really, really helped with my mental health. Exercise is also just really beneficial when you actually get testosterone, because you want to keep yourself fit and healthy, and that process of using weights and exercise helps your metabolism and helps you metabolize the testosterone. And just, as your body's changing, you're moving fat around and you're gaining muscles. So having a good exercise routine that works for you is really beneficial in the process, both pre-T and keeping you mentally well, and then once you're on T to help your body change and all of that. For me personally, I've got to be honest, once I started T, the exercise kind of went downhill a bit. I realised that I'm just not a gym bunny. It was so important pre-T, it really, really was. But then post-T, it just wasn't suiting me. I've got an old back injury and I'm 42. And I think that, I'm not saying that people over 42 can't exercise. Of course they can, but I've got a bit of a wrecked body from my own fault, from years of drinking, abusing myself. But I also wonder whether, at my age, being 42, I've developed this female skeleton that's designed to carry female weight, and I weigh much more as a man. My muscles are much bigger as a man, and I think this was putting a lot of strain on me. So I dropped the real hardcore weightlifting, and I instead swapped to yoga and swimming. I worry about the amount of pressure there is on us as trans men to conform to this idea of being really, really big and really, really muscly. And I realised that a little while ago that isn't me, which is why I swapped to yoga and swimming. Of course, it's not a bad thing. There are people that genuinely want to do it, and if you genuinely want to do that for yourself, then absolutely. But I want to just put it out there that you should never feel pressured to be anybody you're not. We don't transition to please other people. We transition to please ourselves, to become the men we want to be. The whole point of transition is breaking out of those stereotypes, not going straight into another one. So all I'm saying is just be aware of the reasons you're doing it. If it's for yourself and your health and your own aspirations, then brilliant. Go for it. But do remember that you do not have to be any particular way to be trans or to be a man. I do still do some weight work, but I do it more to strengthen the muscles around my neck and my lower back to help support my back and neck injury. So I lift, but I no longer do lists and workout routines and all of that. I just go and enjoy it. I never thought I'd be the sort of person that likes yoga, but I love it because now, as my body's changed and I'm getting back in touch with it, yoga really helps that, because it really slows you down and you really move very mindfully and you become aware of your body and really present in your body, and I love that. And now, post top surgery, being able to swim is just so freeing. It's such a beautiful feeling. It's painful when you can't go swimming, it really is, but trust me, it'll all be worth it in the long run. When you have top surgery and you get in that pool, it's amazing. If you do feel confident going swimming beforehand, there are lots and lots of places that do special trans swimming clubs now, and I highly recommend trying some of those. So yes, as I say, I am no expert on this, and if you really want some guidance on lifting and muscle groups and exercises to do, there are far better places to look than here. My take on this all is really to exercise for your mental health, both pre-T and post-T. Pre-T, it's really, really important. As I say, for me, the biggest gain I got from exercising pre-T was that power and control back over my own body, and good feelings in terms of endorphins of doing exercise and feeling good about myself, and that is the biggest payoff and the biggest thing you need pre-T. And that leads us nicely into part 2, which is the shout-out part of this month's Q&A shout-out. And this month I'm giving 2 shout-outs, which are very much in line with what we've been talking about. The first shout-out goes to this wonderful chap, Cody, who, if you really want to get into bodybuilding and you really want to learn about nutrition and gaining and all of that, here's a chap to talk to. He's absolutely inspirational and fantastic. You know, as I've said before, this is not for me. This is not what floats my boat. But I'm able to appreciate just how dedicated and inspirational this chap is. So to learn anything and everything about bodybuilding when you're a trans man, check him out. The other shout out I want to give is regarding trans swimming, because as I say, I think personally it's the best thing in the world because it's gentle, it supports your body, it's really relaxing and soothing, it's really good exercise, it's amazing for you. But of course, when you're pre-T or pre-top surgery, it can be very, very hard. So this month's shout out goes to the Gender Identity Alliance team. Now they are doing a sponsored swim, which is crazy, on December the 3rd, right, into the North Sea at Seaham Harbour. So they're raising money for 2 reasons. Half of the profits will go into providing swimwear for trans people, so swimming binders and so on. And the other half is going into providing more funds for trans swimming groups across the country. I'll put a link to them at the bottom, so do go and check that out for both local swimming clubs. And if you've got some spare funds, please sponsor this amazing swim. I mean, that's dedication right there, dumping yourself into the North Sea on the 3rd of December. It's quite incredible, so yes, do check that out. Well, I hope that is of some help. Please do continue to send me your questions on absolutely anything. You can send them to me over on the FinnFan page. You can send them to me via tweet. You can send them to me via Instagram. You can send them any way you want. You can pop them in the comments below. Whatever tickles your fancy. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a really lovely Sunday and a really good week. And I will see you on Thursday for a regular upload. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.